Hi, I'm Austin. Welcome back to my channel, All Things Unkempt. Um, Today's video, we're going to be looking at this wonderful drawing I got to do over the last few days. Um, we actually had like a bit of a snowstorm come through, and snowy weather isn't super normal around here. It happens like once a year usually, but this was kind of a lot, so I couldn't really leave home or see myself trying to work or anything. So, what a great opportunity to sit down and work on some more art. Um, I even went out and made a sculpture of one of my cats out of the snow. That was a lot of fun. A nice break from just normal day to day stuff, getting to play out there in the snow. Uh, Anyways, today's drawing, I got to work on kind of a sketch, some ideas I've had in the past. If you've seen my last video, which I suggest you go watch at some point, um, I used a bit of a design or shape, a little bit repetitive in there. And that came from an earlier sketch, which looks like this guy right here. And I really enjoy this, so I wanted to make a full piece, which is right here. But yeah, let's stop talking about it, and I will show you. Okay, here we go. So I used this white paper because I was tired of using the gray toned paper I'd been using for the last few videos, and I wanted to get back to the kind of paper that I normally use, which is just plain white. I think I said in the last video, I'm not so used to my ground being the middle tone of my drawing, so having it being white, it's just the highlight, so it's a lot easier for me to draw. And actually, this drawing was really fast. I only spent about 8.5 hours on this drawing in total, maybe a little bit less, which is really good because that's about half the time the last couple drawings have taken me. Of course, I would say length of time I spent on here does show a little bit. It's maybe not my cleanest drawing I've ever done. In fact, I actually don't like this paper and I need to stop using it. While it is a nice white, it is a mixed media paper, and that means that it's just super rough and textured because it's meant for other things, softer material, softer than some of the pencils I use, so it's kind of pitted almost, and it looks kind of grainy, the final image, and that's just not an aesthetic that I'm going for personally. I think it works in a lot of different forms of art, but I wish this drawing had been done on a smoother, harder paper surface. I'm gonna have to get some paper like that. I think I might have some. I have some Strathmore 400 that's really good to draw on, but it is kind of off-white, which really annoys me because I feel like most people are gonna want to draw on a lighter paper and not use an ivory. I don't know, it just bugs me. I feel like it doesn't look as good when I have a picture. I don't know, I'm trying to go for like black and white, lots of shading. I feel like when I'm drawing with these gray pencil leads and then I have an ivory background, it's not black and white, it's black, white, and ivory, and I don't know, it's not how I want my drawings to look. But I know that now this mixed media paper just isn't going to work well for this. But I still managed to get this drawing out really fast. It was good to have those few days. I just kind of was like, okay, I guess I'm going to do the next drawing right now. And in fact, I think after this is all said and done, this whole video only took me about 5 days, which is incredible because they've been taking me like weeks and weeks to get done. But I guess that's just what happens when you're stuck at home in the snow. I am using these clutch pencils. You've probably seen them in my other videos. I've been using them in pretty much all of my videos, I think, except for maybe my first couple. I'm really liking them. I feel kind of bad. I almost think I like them more than my normal wooden pencils. Pretty much just because I don't have to sharpen them. The body itself isn't getting shorter. there isn't a bunch of extra pencil shavings to throw away. I just end up with dust from the sharpener. And I've actually been collecting that graphite dust from these pencils, and it actually creates a lot of it, and I'm kind of wondering how much of the pencil I'm actually using and how much is just getting sharpened away. But whatever, I'm keeping it because I might as well figure out what to do with it. I'm actually thinking about figuring out how to compress it and maybe turn it into little, I don't know, little blocks or nubs of graphite that I could use for maybe some gestural drawing, or I don't know. I honestly don't know what I would use them for. I think right now I'm just using the dust as a way to quickly cover ground. I don't really do it at all in this drawing, actually. I do it like right at the end, in the darker portion of this drawing. But I don't know. I've used it a couple times, and it's interesting. I don't know what to think yet. I see other people doing it, and I don't know. I don't get it yet. Maybe it's just not for me. But these pencils sure are. I love them. I've kind of been collecting them, actually. I have like 3 of these blue Steadtlers, which are pretty generic. I think you can just get them at like Office Depot and art stores as well, actually. But I have a bunch of other ones too that I've been kind of picking up here and there, and some just random no-name ones, and they all kind of work exactly the same. And I like that because not all wooden pencils are the same. Some of them are more difficult to sharpen and whatnot, and some of them the stupid lead is like off center, and then sharpening it is pointless. No pun intended. Gosh, oh man, dude, art jokes are awful. I think it's because art isn't often funny, because if it's funny, it ends up being like a comic strip or propaganda or something, and then we don't see it as art. So art jokes are pretty bad. I think the best art joke I've ever heard, somebody asked, how do you give an artist $2 million? I don't know, and they were like, well, you got to give them $3 million. I was like, okay. And then they were like, oh, because artists are really bad with money, and in order for them to have like any money, you got to give them more than whatever. I don't know. It's a bad joke, and it was still the best one I've heard. Whatever. Anyways, I'm hoping to do more drawings faster like this. Man, I'm tough. It's tough. I want to find a good middle ground between length of time it takes to complete a piece like this. This is 11 by 14. It's not huge, it's not small. It took me like 8.5 hours. I think if I wanted to do this one again and give myself all the time I could to really make it look, I don't know, more rendered, more realistic, whatever that means, even though this isn't real. I think I'd probably need like upwards of like 30 hours, and that's just not going to work right now. Oh, there's a jump. I keep forgetting to hit record when I draw sometimes, so sorry about that. Not that you can really see what I'm doing anyways. A lot of what I am doing is really simple. I am just laying down some sort of background shading first, just kind of to give myself a basic idea. Okay, it's going to be darker right here, and then it's going to be lighter here, and then the lightest up here. And then from there, I'm kind of smoothing it out with these blenders I have. Really enjoy using those guys. And then I will go in and I'll add more darkness. And then I will clean up the light areas and make it lighter. And then I will go in and add just little bits of hints of shadows and details of edges and things, just to make stuff pop out just a little bit more. You can see it in a lot of those kind of thin striations across this drawing. I will go in and put just a thin dark line right below it, and that just makes it pop out just a little bit more. It's really quick and easy. If you look too closely, it probably falls apart pretty easily. Again, if I had a lot of time, that thin line I'm putting underneath those would actually be nicely blended, and it would be a smooth transition, but it's actually not all that smooth at all. I think there's just enough going on in this piece that you can't really tell as easily, I suppose. I don't know. I guess if you look at it for more than a few minutes, you'd probably really start to see all the weird bits. I don't know. I'm really enjoying this kind of repetitive pattern stuff. I like that I played with scale on this drawing and kind of perspective, it kind of being far in the back in the top left corner and up close down in the bottom right. Just trying to make my works a little bit more dynamic and less static, I suppose. Try to get it, lighter on the right top corner, dark on the left bottom. So compositionally, I am really trying here, and I think it works out pretty nicely. I don't tend to think too hard about how a final piece is going to be, the full composition, where things are going to be laid out. I mostly just want to start and end, go point A to point B, and I think that's why I'm drawn to these like repetitive patterns and shapes, because I can fill a whole page with them and add in the shading and add in the perspective and still keep, this cool shape I really like. Anyways, we're just about done here. I thought I'd leave this in. I think it's really satisfying to watch these edges come off. It just looks really nice. Oh, hey, there's that graphite powder. I just wanted to kind of even out the darker area a bit. But I think it looks really nice to give it these borders. It's kind of like the old trend was on Instagram, giving your picture white borders, which everybody still does, of course. It makes everything look better, so why not? But hey, it makes this look better too. Look at that. Way better than those black borders. And there we are. All right. Thank you. Thank you for watching. If you've made it this far, please think about subscribing. Think about watching more videos. And give it a like or something. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.